All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I am Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Prime Minister to hold bilateral talks with visiting Myanmar President U Win Myint today. More than 100 people arrested in connection with violence in northeast Delhi, adequate forces deployed in affected areas. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman emphasizes need for better information and data sharing between customers and banks at regional level. Air India evacuates 119 Indians stranded on board Diamond Princess ship off Japan coast due to novel coronavirus. And India to take on New Zealand in their third group match of Women's T20 World Cup cricket in Melbourne this morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will hold talks with Myanmar's President U Win Myint in New Delhi today. Mr. U Win Myint arrived in New Delhi on a 4-day visit to India last evening. He is accompanied by the First Lady, Daw Cho Cho. Several agreements are expected to be signed after the talks. The visiting dignitary is also scheduled to meet President Ramnath Kovind in the evening. More from our correspondent.
India shares religious, linguistic and ethnic ties with Myanmar. It is the only ASEAN country adjoining India which provides gateway to Southeast Asia. India is seeking to enhance its cooperation with Myanmar in line with its Act East and Neighbourhood First policies. India is the fifth largest trading partner of Myanmar. Bilateral trade between these two countries has witnessed around 8% growth during 2018-19 and current trade stands at $1.7 billion. The President of Myanmar will visit Bodh Gaya and Agra during his tour. With Dipendra Kumar, Subhadra Ramachandran, AIR News, Delhi.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar held talks with his counterpart from New Zealand in New Delhi yesterday. They discussed ways to deepen cooperation in key sectors such as trade, defence and security. The External Affairs Ministry said that during their deliberations, Dr. Jaishankar and New Zealand's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Winston Peters emphasized the importance of respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity and international law for peace and stability in the region. Mr. Peters, accompanied by Trade Minister David Parker and a business delegation, is visiting India from February 25 to 28. Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday reviewed the situation in violence-hit northeast Delhi. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said, the police and other agencies are working on the ground to ensure peace and normalcy. He said peace and harmony are central to the country's ethos and appealed to everyone to maintain peace and brotherhood at all times. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval visited the affected areas yesterday and took stock of the situation. He reviewed the security situation in the Mojpur area and interacted with the local people.
लोगों के अंदर में एक जाति है, एकता की भावना है, कोई दुश्मनी नहीं है। कोई 2, 4, 10 क्रिमिनल्स इस तरह का काम करते हैं, उनको लोग अलग करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं और यहाँ पर पुलिस बिल्कुल तैनात है, बिल्कुल अलर्ट है और बड़ी मुस्तैदी के साथ अपना काम कर रही है.
After the visit, Mr. Doval also briefed Home Minister Amit Shah about the situation and steps taken to bring back normalcy there. Delhi Police Commissioner Amulya Patnaik told reporters that a lot of confidence-building measures are being taken.
To a large extent, normalcy has returned. Senior officers are on rounds. Extra forces have been given and a lot of confidence-building measures are being taken. We are also associating peace committee meetings and things are being brought back to normal.
Briefing the media in the national capital, Delhi Police spokesperson M.S. Randhawa said, sufficient forces have been deployed in the affected areas and no untoward incident took place. He said the police has registered 18 FIRs so far and 106 people have been arrested in connection with the violence. Mr. Randhawa said Delhi Police has issued 2 helpline numbers, 2282-9334 and 2282-9335. which people can contact for any assistance or can share any information with the police. The Ministry of Home Affairs in an advisory has said that mob violence and lynching is a heinous crime and a serious criminal offence. It invites serious consequences and stringent punishment under the law. The Central Board of Secondary Education, CBSE, has decided to postpone the Class 12 board exams scheduled to be held today at the exam centres situated in northeast Delhi. CBSE Secretary Anurag Tripathi said that the new dates of the exam will be informed soon. Details of the exam centres where these exams have been postponed are available at CBSE's website www.cbse.nic.in. Except North East Delhi, examinations will be held as per schedule in the remaining parts of the city. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has emphasized the need for better data sharing between customers and public sector banks at the regional level. Addressing a function in New Delhi, she said banks require a judicious mix of personal customer information and data. Ms. Sitharaman said the government wants to use data analytics in the banking sector.
Today, that branch level connect possibly is not as much as it was before. We would want to use big data. We would want to use data analytics. But at the branch level, customers expect that little touch from you. They want ease of doing their banking through their mobile phones.
The minister pointed out that many branch-level officers in public sector banks do not have enough information on government schemes. She said bank branches in the hinterland suffer as employees cannot speak in the customer's mother tongue. Ms. Sitharaman said bank employees should be able to speak local languages. Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the vision of achieving a $5 trillion economy will be possible only if the share of the MSMEs to national growth reaches 50% from 29%. He was speaking at the National MSME Awards function in New Delhi yesterday. Mr. Gadkari said only the MSME sector can resolve the problem of unemployment in the country, and his ministry is ensuring that banks provide all necessary assistance to the sector.
हमारे देश की सबसे बड़ी समस्या है रोजगार की, और रोजगार की समस्या जो है उसका उपाय जो है वो एमएसएमई सेक्टर के ही विकास में है, और इसलिए अभी तक 11 करोड़ जॉब क्रिएट हुए हैं। आने वाले समय में और जॉब्स कैसे क्रिएट होंगे ये आप सबके सहयोग से हमारा प्रयास है।
Our correspondent reports that Mr. Gadkari conferred 50 national MSME awards for outstanding performance and contribution to the development of the MSME sector. The government has decided to lift the nearly 6-month-old ban on export of onions in a bid to protect the interests of farmers as prices are likely to fall sharply due to a bumper Rabi crop. The decision was taken at a meeting of a group of ministers, GOM, headed by Home Minister Amit Shah in New Delhi. Food Minister Ramvilas Paswan, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba were present at the meeting. The lifting of the ban would be effective once the Directorate General of Foreign Trade issues a notification in this regard. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. Air India has evacuated 119 Indians stranded on board the Diamond Princess cruise ship off Japan's coast due to novel coronavirus. An Air India flight carrying 119 Indians and 5 foreign nationals from Sri Lanka, Nepal, South Africa and Peru landed at Delhi Airport from Tokyo this morning. In a tweet, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar thanked Japanese authorities for their help in evacuating the stranded people. All evacuated passengers will undergo a 14-day quarantine at Manesar in Haryana. Out of the total of 138 Indian nationals originally on board the Diamond Princess, 16 Indian crew members have tested positive for the coronavirus and are receiving necessary medical care and treatment at onshore medical facilities in Japan. The Embassy of India in Tokyo has established contact with these individuals and is continuously following up on their recovery. An Indian Air Force flight has brought back 76 Indians and 36 nationals from 7 countries from the novel coronavirus-hit Wuhan in China. These countries are Bangladesh, Myanmar, the Maldives, China, South Africa, the United States and Madagascar. In a tweet, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar appreciated the facilitation by the Chinese government. India had yesterday sent an aircraft to evacuate its nationals from novel coronavirus-hit Wuhan and delivered a consignment of medical supplies to China. Now, moving on to our series, Har Kaam Desh Ke Naam. In this series, we take a look at the programs and policies of the government aimed at reaching out to the last mile of development and welfare of all. The government will soon launch the third phase of the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana or PMKVY. Talking to AIR, Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Mahendranath Pandey said, The government has decided to link the scheme with school education to bring a revolutionary change in the field of skill development.
करोड़ों युवा इससे जुड़े हैं, उसका लाभ मिला है और आगे हम PMKY 3 पर प्लान कर रहे हैं। उसमें स्कूल एजुकेशन के साथ इसको तमाम इंस्टीट्यूशन से जोड़ेंगे और जो पुराने सेटअप में ट्रेनिंग कर रहे थे वो भी चलता रहेगा। दोनों को जोड़ के स्किलिंग के फील्ड में एक क्रांतिकारी बदलाव लाने की कोशिश है।
The government had launched the PMKVY scheme in 2015 to mobilize youth to take up skill training with the aim of increasing productivity and aligning the training and certification to the needs of the country. Now our series Ek Bharat Shresht Bharat. Under this scheme, Goa has been paired with Jharkhand. Our correspondent reports on the activities going on in Goa to know the culture of its pairing state, Jharkhand.
Subhash Zan, lecturer at Amey Higher Secondary School, Ponda, takes a review of these initiatives.
Through this innovative measure, the knowledge of the culture, traditions and practices of different states and union territories will lead to an enhanced understanding and bonding between the states. Various schools in Goa organized a variety of programs. It includes presentation of quizzes, wallpaper, school assembly on Jharkhand, etc. Patriotic singing competitions even when organized to celebrate this cultural identity. One group of 50 students from DMC College Mapsa had interstate cultural exchange program at Ranchi recently. This has helped our students to showcase the rich heritage and culture, customs and traditions of Goa.
More of such exchange activities and projects are being planned between Goa and Jharkhand in the near future. Mukesh Thuri for AIR News from Panaji, Goa.
On to sports news now. In cricket, India will take on New Zealand in their third group match of the ICC Women's T20 World Cup in Melbourne today. The match will start at 9:30 a.m. Indian time. After victories against defending champions Australia and Bangladesh, the Indian women's cricket team seek a hat-trick of wins at today's match. This will help them inch closer to a semi-final berth. The Indian women's team is perched at the top of the 5-team Group A standings with 4 points from 2 matches. In the ongoing Khelo India University Games in Odisha, Utkarsh Dikshit from Punjab University Patiala won the men's recurve archery gold medal. In women's recurve archery, the gold medal went to Priyanka Thakran from the Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. In the men's 55-kilogram class weightlifting, Shivaji University Sanket Mahadev Sagar lifted 243 kgs in clean and jerk, creating a national record. And now, for a look at today's newspapers for the major stories, it's over to Anuja Kumar.
Thank you, Sanjay. The 3 days of horrific communal violence in northeast Delhi dominates front-page headlines. The Hindustan Times reports 27 dead over 3 days of communal riots, at least 14 from gunshot wounds, more than 300 people injured. The Business Line writes, as Delhi death toll mounts, PM Modi appeals for calm. The Delhi High Court's tough questions to the Delhi police is prominently highlighted in the press. Delhi Court asks, why FIRs not filed against BJP leaders for hate speeches, but appreciates prompt evacuation by police, reports the Tribune. In news about the coronavirus outbreak, the Hindustan Times headline reads, rest of world overtakes China in new virus cases. And finally, news about a parasite called Henegua salminicola. The Times of India describes it as an animal that doesn't need oxygen to survive. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Anuja. That was a look at today's newspapers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister to hold bilateral talks with visiting Myanmar President U Win Myint today. More than 100 people arrested in connection with violence in northeast Delhi. Adequate forces deployed in affected areas. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman emphasizes need for better information and data sharing between customers and banks at regional level. Air India evacuates 119 Indians stranded on board Diamond Princess ship off Japan's coast due to novel coronavirus. And India to take on New Zealand in their third group match of Women's T20 World Cup cricket in Melbourne this morning. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website, newsonair.com. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.